Okay, bring it in, you guys. Texas just handed us the blueprint. Y'all, we have got a master blueprint because one of the loudest and two of the least effective microphones in Congress, that's Jasmine Crockett and Al Green, they've just run into something stronger than them viral clips. Y'all, they are being confronted with math. And the beauty of all of this is that it is legal. So we're going to examine the surgical, ruthless, and effective precision that is effectively causing both of these individuals, they are going to lose their seats. So I'm going to show you the receipts. We're going to look at the numbers, and we're going to learn how we can rinse and repeat all of this until performative politics becomes retirement plan. Y'all buckle up. It's going to get spicy. Let's get into this. Grace and peace, you guys. Welcome back to Unshakable with April Chapman, where we discuss all things social, cultural, political, and theological from a biblical perspective. I'm your host, April Chapman, and welcome to the show. I am in unusually happy spirits today because we're going to be talking about redistricting, and we're going to discuss it, though, as a strategy and a punishment. Listen. When I tell you what the Republicans have done in Texas is genius, this is how adults redraw crayons on a map that end up making children throw temper tantrums on cable news. Texas drew lines and Democrats drew tears. I love to see it. Oh, how I love to see it. Now, if you are a liberal, I'm going to just be honest. I'm going to let you know out the gate, this show might make you mad. It might make you mad so much so that you start bleeding from your eyes. And I am here to let you know that I don't care. I am here for all of it. So let's go ahead. Let's talk some strategy, not the hysteria. We're going to talk strategy. What did Texas actually do? We've heard so many people talk about how Jasmine Crockett not living in her district, but what Texas has done, Texas approved a mid-decade congressional map, and Governor Abbott, he signed it on August 23rd. This new map, you guys, it is designed to add up to 5 GOP seats. And what this does is it shifts the delegation from 25 Republicans and 13 Democrats toward a potential 30 Republicans and 8 Democrats. Y'all, what? Let me explain why this matters. Under these new lines, the 2024 results, they would have given Donald Trump a 79% win of Texas districts, which would have equated to about 30 out of 38. Let me translate all of this for you. Donald Trump is a friggin' genius, okay? Listen, y'all, cartography beats clout chasing and grandstanding every day and twice on Sunday, okay? Cartography is the art of, or the science of drawing maps. And this, what he has done, you got to give it to him. It was genius. But I want to remind you, I need to remind you, how did we get here? Let's roll the clip to give you some insight as to what led us to this point.
The only reason we're having this hearing is because somebody got their feelings hurt in a debate. And I don't understand why we're wasting taxpayer dollars. Next time, tell your big boy to show up and be ready to handle the woman in the room who hopefully will become the next president of the United States. And the final thing that I will say is that this election, I didn't ask you a question. The final thing that I will say is that this election is the best example of why y'all are so afraid of diversity, equity, and inclusion, because then you can't have a simple-minded, underqualified white man somehow end up ascending. Instead, you've got to pay attention to the qualified black woman that is on the other side. And with that, I will yield. I'm going to try my best not to preach.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you. Because every day that we show up in D.C., we show up for you.
That's right.
We know who we work for. We know that we work for the American people. And what we're not going to do is stand around while they pull this bullshit that they trying to pull right now.
Go ahead.
This is why I'm not going to be able to preach, because I probably won't be able to stop cussing.
Take your time.
So let something, Mr. Trump. You gonna learn a few lessons from us. And I'm gonna be the first one. You and your little friend off of Twitter. Y'all about to find out, all right? Come on. Me and Lil Donnie, we don't get along. And y'all know that, like, he really has, like, this little ego issue. And so when there is somebody that pushes back, fights back, he absolutely loses his mind. So, just to be clear, I'm not going to stop being who I am, because it's just how God made me, and so it is what it is. But y'all know how he was, like, going after different people that are on TV and wanting them to lose their jobs, and unfortunately some may have lost their jobs because of him and his threats and his bullying. Well, that's not how I get my job. I get my job from the people of Texas 30. So once Donald realized that he can't fire me by any means, because I don't work for him, I work for the people at Texas 30. And of course, like, I'm not, like, paid to do TV or anything like that. He has decided to sick his little media people out on me and to make up all kinds of lies and all of the nonsense. It is what it is. As soon as y'all see something that sounds stupid, especially coming from certain sources, y'all already know what it is. Like, we not finna play like this. Like, y'all not crazy. And so, yeah, I got news for him. If I want to be in the house, I'll absolutely be in the house. And there ain't nothing he can do about it. I'm sorry. But Don, you got to put up with me. Okay? Okay.
If you could tell Donald Trump anything tonight, what would you tell him?
I would tell him to grow a spine and stop being Putin's hoe.
All right, so while this chick was grandstanding for the algorithm, the congressional map makers, they boxed her in. During hearings, if you remember, Jasmine Crockett said that the GOP map would draw her out of her home, out of her own district. And I'm sorry, but this is what happens when you mistake virality for viability. Okay, so while Jasmine Crockett was out here auditioning for BS Now or MSNBC or whatever they're calling themselves these days, the surrounding math moved her right on out of her seat. And so here's my argument. It is fine for Jasmine to disagree with the president's politics. She is a lawmaker. She's in Congress. If she's on the opposing side, well, of course, she is probably going to disagree with his politics. But I believe that Donald Trump pulled the trigger on this because what did we see from Jasmine? We saw vitriolic, unusual, and incredibly vile and crass personal attacks on the president by a sitting congresswoman. And I get it. Y'all, Trump is slick with his mouth. He is. He's slick with his mouth too. And he doesn't hide how he feels about anybody. Like, if you're a nasty woman, he's going to tell you to your face that you are a nasty woman. I'm just saying. So I get that. But in politics, things can get ugly and nasty. But I am telling you, Jasmine messed up when she started talking reckless and real froggy like she did in those clips. Because first of all, you are a woman, okay? Your language toward the executive branch should come with just a little bit more respect and a little bit more class. Disagree and push all of the freak, nasty, and horrible policies that you want to because you're a Democrat, so we know you can't help that. But that type of inflammatory attack against a sitting president, it is not going to end well for you. She should have focused on his policies and attacked those. If she was truly a serious and vital member of the Democrat Party, she would have done that. Now, to be fair, I don't see how you can build a strong or honest and credible argument against the policies of the president as a Democrat, but hell, she should have at least tried, right? That's her job. She's a legislator. That's what she's supposed to do. Maybe she should have, I don't know, introduced some legislation, but she didn't. This woman spent the vast majority of her time wasting time. She was out there running her mouth, running on this show, running on that show, personally attacking the president without providing any viable solutions to counter why she believed his policies were a bad idea. If she had done that, I honestly believe Donald Trump, she really would not have been on his radar like that, and he would have let it slide. But the moment she made it personal, he was like, yeah, I got your Putin toe. I got that. Don't worry. We gonna take care of you real quick. So here's the biblical reality. The scriptures give us this warning that a fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back. Y'all, that's Proverbs 29:11. Listen, this is precisely how Jasmine found herself here. Acting like a fool, giving full vent, as the scriptures say, in a liberal crash out mode. And now she has found herself on the receiving end of political wrath. And it's really not too much she can do about it. I mean, if you truly believe that a president's policies are harmful, do the grown-up thing. Write a bill, right? Marshal votes. Build a coalition. Hold a hearing. Make the case. Spend time attacking the policy, not the person. Bring receipts, not reality TV energy. This is real life. This is our country that we're trying to govern here. Spend some time doing the hard work. Instead, like Jasmine Crockett, she spent the vast majority of her time wasting time out here running her mouth, running from show to show, personally attacking the president while offering zero viable solutions. Y'all, that's not leadership. That is just laziness with the lashes, right? If your brand is the point and your core objective overall is to make it all about you, well, no wonder your district was just used as a prop. Now, if Jasmine was writing checks with her mouth that her butt couldn't cash, let me show you the cane. Take a look at this clip.
I believe that the President of the United States has committed an impeachable act. H-Res 5.7 addresses abuse of presidential powers by disregarding the separation of powers, devolving American democracy into an authoritarian government. I believe that if we do not take immediate action, this authoritarian president will not only devolve the country into authoritarianism, I believe he is a would-be dictator who would become a dictator. So I today announce that later today, I will bring these articles of impeachment to the floor and I will call for a vote. I believe that the hour of decision is upon us and we all have to decide, are we going to go down and choose the path of democracy, or we allow ourselves to choose the low road of autocracy? I believe that the President of the United States has committed an impeachable act. H-Res 5.7 addresses abuse of presidential powers by disregarding the separation of powers, devolving American democracy into an authoritarian government. I believe that if we do not take immediate action, this authoritarian president will not only devolve the country into authoritarianism, I believe he is a would-be dictator who would become a dictator. So I today announce that later today, I will bring these articles of impeachment to the floor and I will call for a vote. I believe that the hour of decision is upon us and we all have to decide, are we going to go down and choose the path of democracy, or we allow ourselves to choose the low road of autocracy?
Small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session. Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber. Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Did you see that? Al Green has spent years in office, and I could show you probably an entire highlight reel full of cable clips and dramatic outbursts from Cro-Magnon Man. I could do that. And while the theatrics, they were trending and they were actually quite entertaining. Y'all, the adults in Congress, they just moved the furniture, right? They shifted the district lines and coalitions got rearranged. They just started moving in silence. And just like that, the ground game just changed. And the ones who were putting on the dog and pony show, y'all, they didn't even notice. That's what strategy does. And that's the point I'm trying to drive home. It turns sound and fury into silence and early retirement and just makes you leave with disgrace. So here's the key insight that ties both Jasmine Crockett and Al Green together. When your brand is focused on performance, you stop paying attention. You're not focused on the scoreboard. And then redistricting brings the scoreboard back into the conversation. Like, you can trend on Twitter all day long and still lose your leverage if somebody else is doing the math while you're out here doing a monologue. So how did Texas pull this off with such laser-focused precision? I am so glad you asked, because I've been wanting to break this down for a while. Let me describe the play without pulling out the whiteboard. From what I have studied, it's amazing how they were able to accomplish this. It was a three-prong approach, and we're going to call it pack, crack, and eliminate. First, you want to pack, right? You want to concentrate the deepest blue precincts into fewer ultra-safe seats. And when you do this, the celebrity Congress people, they get to keep their stage, but their influence stops bleeding into swing territory. You catch me? Then what you want to do is you want to crack, right? You want to divide the remaining clusters so that no one single influencer can commandeer an entire region. And finally, you eliminate. You identify the loudest, least effective megaphones whose theatrics aren't translating into governance anyway, and then you redraw so that their antics stop cashing out as power, right? All these people who've been in power all this time and they've been ineffective, you basically render them powerless. All of this is done within the legal guardrails. You make it compact, you keep continuity, pull together communities of interest, all while maintaining constitutional compliance. Like I said, it is absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's genius. Now, yes, the lawsuits will fly. Heck, this is America. Of course it's going to be challenged, and we expect it to. But as of now, these maps hold until the courts tell you otherwise. And so, adults, we've been planning for both. We plan for the election calendar and the courtroom calendar. Now, take that playbook and put it on the numbers board, like in your head. Blue fortresses get taller and fewer, the surrounding suburbs, they stop absorbing all of their chaos, and seats that used to be taken for granted, suddenly they've now got some competitive sunlight shining through the window. So what does irrelevant look like? Right? Like, I want to paint a picture for you because we're actually watching this happen in real time. Irrelevance looks like, let me paint the picture for you. It looks like a talk-heavy legislator boxed into a primary knife fight with her own party because the neighboring districts where families want safety and sanity and schools that actually teach are no longer propping up her profile. It looks like a long-tenured, cane-thumping pimp look-alike reject discovering that the ground he assumed would always be there suddenly requires actual persuasion, not just the performance. Oh, you get to keep the show. You just don't get the steering wheel. And that, my friends, is the point. The woke wardens can police language all they want. The deacons of dependency, they can sermonize about government as God and all of their chaos. They can sweep their mess under new slogans. But when adults draw fair, lawful lines, your neighborhood finally gets a voice that sounds like you, not like woke justician pundits on cable news. And so here's what Jasmine's pastor should have told her. Y'all know she goes to Freddie Haynes' church. We're going to call that the Marxist Indoctrination Center of Bondage. It's a church, but that's what it really is. It's called a church. Whatever. Anyway, when I thought about this, I said, here's what Freddie Haynes should have told his parishioner Jasmine. He should have told her to let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. Now, that would have been some good personal counsel and pretty decent political advice too, but he didn't tell her that because he don't believe the Bible. But being slow to anger keeps you out of the viral clip trap. And being quick to hear helps you to actually represent actual people instead of your PR team. But according to individuals inside of Jasmine's camp, Jasmine was only interested in going viral anyway, so I guess she actually did accomplish her goal. But the thing is, the people in her district, they're left out in the cold with a do-nothing Democrat representing them. But thank goodness that's coming to an end. So, if Texas demonstrated the blueprint, what do we do with it? We got the blueprint. I'm saying states that have similar conditions, what they need to do is they need to audit the map, go through that bad boy with a fine-tooth comb, identify 10 to 15 point opportunities, and then redraw within the law. Yeah, the Democrats gonna say that it's racist, whatever. Just let them talk. All they know how to do is talk and pontificate. Anyway, pull out that Sharpie and you pack the loudest chaos into fewer seats. Okay, crack what's left to prevent the monopoly style influence, and then eliminate the pipeline where tantrums become power. Right? So the GOP, they need to pre-litigate with data. Start recruiting candidates early. Go and find yourself some well-adjusted, serious adults who actually have a desire to govern and not just go viral. And then you synchronize the timelines across all of the states so that the left, they can't sue everywhere at the same time. Heck, the DNC is broke anyway, right? So this strategy, it's like gold right now. And I'm hoping that people within the RNC is listening and they will go and do likewise. But as for us citizens, y'all, we can't let up. No. We have to stay engaged in the hearings and submit comments. Do not apologize for wanting order and for wanting to make change. Do not let these people gaslight you into believing that order is somehow oppression. It is not oppression. It's love of neighbor. Christians are not called to worship the state. Okay, we got to have this healthy balance and hold these things in equal tension. We are called, however, to appreciate the gift of peace when government does its basic job. So if the map helps deliver peace, along with safe communities and accountable spending and schools that teach the basics, then we're going to thank God for the wisdom and we're going to keep pressing forward. And yes, you need to expect this. Expect the meltdowns, right? Why? Because they're coming. Remember, these people can't help it. They are driven by a lust for power. So there will be lawsuits and op-eds and think pieces and cable news fainting spells. Like all of that's gonna happen. Just let them crash out. There are going to be speeches about, democracy is dying and democracy is being destroyed. And it's going to come from the very people who have been strangling local self-governance for years. But it's fine. Why? Because we're going to breathe. Just breathe. Relax. None of that changes the fact that order is good and chaos is cruel. And like I said earlier, a fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back. So we don't need to match their tantrums. Just like I said, let them crash out. All we need to do is to keep doing what we've been doing and doing the work. Because this is not about hating opponents. Okay? This is about loving people enough to demand competence. And if you're going to hold office, we don't care if you are black, white, purple, or green, fine. Criticize, but bring policy. If you're gonna legislate. Texas showed America the blueprint. All we got to do is now copy the homework lawfully, and let's start delivering some results. So if you've enjoyed this breakdown, and if you believe that the time spent over here on this channel has been valuable to you, would you please, y'all, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with at least 3 friends. I need you to drop this in the comments. Type maps over memes. And also, I want you to partner with me over on Patreon, you guys. The goal is to keep this work moving, and doing so over on Patreon allows me to do more of what I'm already doing over here. And do not forget to check out standardhomeandliving.com. That is my lifestyle brand. You can find so many amazing resources and studies to keep you spiritually rooted. So until next time, you guys, stand firm, stay bold, and above all else, stay unshakable. Grace and peace.